Punters and Dribblers with Melbourne Cup just running yesterday. We are now officially in silly season.
We're in it.
We're in it.
Balls deep in silly season.
We are here and we're in silly season, and that's rosé season, baby.
Rosé season is silly season. Silly season is rosé season. They're the same fucking thing.
As it warms up,
it's hot today, bro.
It's hot.
It's hot today, bro.
It's hot. It's rosé time, motherfuckers. Hello Sport.shop, 6 p.m. The Magnums. They are back. The rosé is the best in class. Impress your misso, impress your man, impress your mum with the best rosé in town. There's a reason why we're still doing it.
Sit on it.
You are listening to the Hello Sport podcast.
No, the thing, Eddie, that I wanted to talk about was that video.
Oh, yeah. So good.
That video was good. Did I send that to fucking everyone or just to you? So
basically, the video is of
Carmela.
Caramel.
She's pretending to take a phone call from a voter. We'll get it up, and she's like, "Oh, you've just voted? Oh my God, that's great to know." And then she's in a crowd full of people, and they're like, "She's just voted," and everyone's like, "Yeah." And then she holds the phone up, and she's just got the camera app on, and she holds it up to the crowd, and you're like, she's not even on the fucking phone. It's just so fucking bonkers, this whole thing. Will it be done by tomorrow when this comes out?
Yeah.
But also they won't.
Typically.
They won't necessarily know.
Voting closes in Hawaii at 4 o'clock.
Huh?
Today, 4 o'clock our time today is when Hawaii voting closes, which is the last.
They typically will. They'll know today. There's some in the past it's been tight and they haven't known.
I think in 2020 it was like it wasn't known straight away, was it? Like a couple of days to count them. And again, I don't know shit about fuck, but then Barry Obama on Twitter was like, this thing could take a while.
Like back when Bush beats.
Let's watch this video. I just want to watch it again. Jeez. Have we got a remote for this TV before we go?
Ed, could you sit in the middle of your chair a little bit more, please?
Yeah. You right there, bud?
Yeah, bro.
It's all about the friends we made along the way.
How you doing? Have you voted already?
Give me a second.
You did? Thank you.
Oh!
Don't hold it up.
Thank you so very much.
Don't hold the phone up.
Important that everybody participate.
Don't hold the phone up. That's the staffer before the call. Now, you aren't actually on a phone call, so don't hold the phone.
Don't
hold the phone up.
fucking phone. And then she's just gone, hold the phone up. That's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's all just such atrocious bullshit. And that's from both sides. But like, I wonder how much greater the bullshit is just generally. These like posturing moments, like than just our own political. It feels like we're just obviously lame comparatively.
No, but I was thinking about this today. The reason that we generally don't get into the Australian politics is it's not entertaining. This is pure entertainment.
I know, but it's terrifying as well.
But the
consequences are way more etch.
But it is entertaining. That's why so many people are interested, because you get shit like this.
They're also campaigning for
Trump
what
saying
feels
weird
like a million
shit.
years.
You get but it's because it's entertaining.
Yeah.
If our politicians campaigned for fucking 3 years, they'd both be shot.
Well, that's it.
It'd be so boring.
You know,
like, oh my God.
You'd kick things off at the Devon factory, hard hat, high vis, and then it'd be like, what now?
Yeah. It'd be ScoMo scaring kids, and then,
Well, he
fucking-
tackled. Oh, well, I think fucking what's his name?
they'd talk about climate change for a bit and immigration for a bit, and then we'd be bored shitless.
Yeah,
like,
we
this
would.
is entertaining. That's why they can go for so long.
Yeah.
That's by the by.
That's
What I
by
was
the
going
by.
to say is I think when Bush beat Al Gore, I think in year 2000, it came down to Florida, and I'm pretty sure Bush won by like 500 total votes.
And did it have to go to the court?
I think they got them vetted. The votes got vetted and shit because it was so tight.
Yeah.
Can you look that up, Tobler? It was like a fucking sickeningly low number of votes that decided the whole election. I think it was 500.
It's been, and again, like
537 votes.
537. How many people live in Florida?
it's become so red hot. The whole fucking
22
thing.
million.
22 million.
Jesus Christ.
Obviously, not everyone can
It
vote.
was
but
16 in 2000.
You get an idea.
You do get
16
an
million.
idea.
In 2000, yeah.
It's you and I obviously green room it up a lot with our US politics coverage. We like to keep abreast of it, but some of the shit you see, and this is like, I believe bipartisan is the word. I don't give a fuck who you're voting for, but just the like, oh, he's a Nazi. And you were saying to me, you were like, if you're calling Trump a Nazi, like you have no idea.
You've got no idea what you're talking about.
What you're talking about, like what a Nazi is,
Yeah.
and what this guy is.
Well, and they compare him to Hitler, and I'm like, bro, like this he's the most evil man in all history. In all history. Like in the history of our fucking
It's so
species,
red hot.
bro. Like the only time in recorded history where they fucking rounded people up and like has like a
Systemically exterminated them.
Systematically exterminated a people. It's happened once in the history of man, and he fucking headed that shit up. Like this guy is he's the sickest of the sick. So that comparison's so etched.
Also, because he already was in power before and he didn't do that.
It's people saying that. I'm like, there's no correlation. What is the correlation that you're making? Because it seems to me like you just fucking hijacking
wild.
that word.
It's wild stuff. Anyway, that ends the political debate, I think, Edward, or discussion on the podcast. We were trying to get JD Vance on.
Listen,
but
I'll close by saying that I think they're both fucking a special breed of
yes.
Insert word here, right? Like they're fucking not up to it, both of them.
No, and you see it. That was when Trump went on Rogan, and you're like, I thought it was good that you at least get to see 3 hours of like a political candidate having to be able to hold a conversation for 3 hours. I don't know whether Kamala could have done that, but it was just but seeing Trump was like, okay, it's nice that you're doing it, but then you're also like, yeesh. Oh, Jesus Christ. Goodness gracious.
You listen to him and then you listen to JD Vance, you're like, oh my God.
JD Vance is a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, but I'm like, Trump's just too old, bro. Like,
yeah, but maybe you just...
And
listen,
too much
maybe
of a
he's-
dribbler.
Well, he certainly is that.
Fuck, he's a dribbler.
He
is like
dude, the bit where he's talking about the
ultimate
pilots.
dribbler, bro.
These pilots, he's the best pilots. We're flying into Iraq. Lights were off. Did I tell you how dark it was? The lights were off. So dark. So dark. Usually they even have the little lights on the wings. They didn't even have those little lights on. It was so dark.
Sure, Derek.
Like,
Right. Okay.
All right, bro.
Okay,
All right, we get it. It was dark.
Yeah, it was dark.
And he reminds me of like someone at a kick-on's just repeating the story. Like, get to it. Get to the
like
point.
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh can string out the fucking. He can get going to get milk into 4 hours.
Yeah.
Get to the point.
Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Oh, that's funny.
It will be interesting to see what happens. Both sides saying, if the other side wins, this could be the last election we ever have.
last
You're like,
election
okay.
ever. Okay.
Don't wig me out.
I also don't believe that, for sure. Tom, we did some moving and shaking yesterday.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I was going to say I had to go and get my hips released this morning because of how much moving and shaking I was doing.
It was crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, just obviously, a special thanks must go to St. Peter Volandis, grandson of God, son of Christ, and chair of New
Saran
South
Cook.
Wales Racing, Dr. Saran.
Yep.
Great people.
Great people.
Who showed us a great time.
Well, listen, we began our morning in earnest.
in earnest.
In earnest. I realised I didn't have the correct footwear. So I had to go to Bondi Junction dressed in my suit but wearing my Lusso Clouds like a freak and went to get some shoes and a tie, the tightest shoes of all time. I tried them on in there, did a little bit of walking, but as soon as I started to walk out of the place, I was like, holy fuck, these are tight. And they will stretch. They are leather. Shout out to leather for stretching, but leather don't stretch over a couple of hours at a fucking mover and shaker's lunch.
Tommy was in Hezbollah yesterday. He was in he was in a bad way.
Nice shoes, though. I
And
like
we
the
were-
look of them on photo, actually.
And we did a little bit of walking. We
Yeah,
had to
we
do a
did.
bit of walking.
We had to do some walking.
We were wine dine 69, taken down into the theatre of the horse.
Oh, my God. The Theatre of the Horse, dude? Didn't know that was what it was called.
The theatre of the horse, mate. Taken out onto the lawn.
Theatre of the Horse, those you don't know, is the big circle where they come and fucking
they parade.
them around.
What, did you do a hot lap in the...
Then we went through the tunnel that connects.
Well, we got taken on a tour, Tobler, that's usually reserved for ministers of parliament, MPs,
Wow.
Yeah.
got
heads
new
of
shoes.
state, kings,
Queens.
nobility,
Yeah. The aristocracy.
the aristocracy, dude. You know what I mean? That's what it was reserved for. And they said, you know what? We have, I guess, what you could call podcasting aristocracy, podcasting royalty. So we'll take you guys down to the Theatre of Dreams, whatever it was called.
Theatre of the Horse.
Theatre of the Horse.
Then we go through the tunnel, we go out, and we watch the big dance. Tommy Berry fucked us.
Tommy Berry did fuck us.
Then we met.
Well, we met him afterwards, and we had to be gracious and cordial, yes, because he was
cordial.
No, not coddies.
Not coddies about it.
There was no coddies about us, I'll tell you that. But we had to be cordial.
Yes.
With him because he was in front of us.
Yeah.
But he did fuck us in the big dance.
Yes, he did.
And it was hard to swallow the anger in that moment. But you know what? Today I feel fine. But we're smiling in that photo, but what I'm actually trying to do is
we're hurting though.
We're hurting. I want him to know that.
Yeah. We are smiling, we are hurting. We went into the steward's room.
That's a nice little bit of...
Watched a jockey get rinsed for riding incorrectly.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't realise how...
showcasing the really squeaky clean side of it, mate.
They were taking us through the operations, behind the scenes, how the sausage is made, how we keep these little bastards accountable, these little bastards on the horses.
Yeah.
Respect to them.
Yeah. Got to let them know who's in charge.
Yeah,
and it ain't them.
It ain't them. It's the stewards.
That's right.
And they called in a little fella and sat him down and said, "Oi, you listen here, you little fuck.
Yep.
Ride safely next time. Just a warning."
Yeah, you see, we've got the footage up. You see, you coming across here. See, you cutting across him. Don't do that.
And he goes, "Righto, sorry, boss."
Righto, he said.
Yeah, he did. Squeaked out a little righto, and he trotted off back to the weight cutting room.
Yeah, they cut serious weight. They cut weight in the bath, according to Tommy Berry.
Well, old school. Tommy was saying old school is like the sauna,
but he does it in the bath, which we remarked might have been the way for Tom to get into his suit.
Yes. So that's what I'm sort of going to do maybe on race day moving forward is just get into a sweatsuit, into a hot bath, heaters in a room, and then I might fit into my nice green number, which
would have looked good yesterday.
It would have looked good yesterday, but I was happy with my black linen suit, to be fair. Jacket could come in a pinch.
Probably around the
shoulders.
Around the shoulders. Needs to follow a bit more. It's a bit
listen, dude, I got broad shoulders, but they ain't that broad.
Yeah,
it's obviously just a couple of handsome guys there.
And then that's us.
And that's a cropped photo.
That's
if you're looking at Instagram. That's a personal joke between us and the heads of Racing New South Wales. Don't worry about it. You won't get it.
Yeah, that's a thing between us and the powers that be. Yeah.
It's just a personal joke that you will not understand.
You're not going to get it.
You're not going to get it.
You won't get it. Saran will.
You might. Oh, sorry, Doc will. She'll get it. Doc and PVL, they'll sit out and go, "That was funny." Yep. That's just guys being cheeky and being funny.
That was the boys being funny.
Whereas, you guys will see that final photo in the slide that we put up on Instagram, 10,000 likes, whatever, and you'll be like, why the fuck have they put up that photo where everyone's cropped out? You will not get the joke.
You're not going to get it. And that's fine.
But it's a good joke. Just know that.
Know this. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You're just not going to get it.
And know that they will, and they'll be giggling. They'll be giggling.
That.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're sitting there asking, you're screaming at the potty going, what about the buffet?
Yeah, I will say this, because there were a few people that made comment, Eddie. Sorry, I do have a child called Evie. Where the fuck was the buffet coverage? Because we did say we'd cover the buffet.
Yeah, right.
We didn't cover the buffet, but I would like to make this point. Until you fucking eyeballed a buffet like that, you don't know what you're going to do. Like, you don't know how you're going to behave in a moment of, like, fight or flight, danger, fucking whatever else.
Exactly. Like, you dream of fucking a 10, man or woman. You do, but you don't know how you're going to perform.
Correct.
When the lights are on.
Yep.
In that moment.
And this is
do you
10.
put in the performance of your life, or do you fucking shrivel up?
Yeah.
Do you come early? Do you make a mockery of yourself? Are you covered in your own nut going, sorry about that? Like, who knows, right? You don't know. What we do know is that the buffet is breathtaking.
Yeah.
And once you've got a buffet of that substance, of that desirability in front of you, you're not thinking camera. You're not thinking phone. You're thinking, how do I get into that
because
line?
I tell you what as well, whilst we are in the content game, have been for a while now, I'm not a 15-year-old at a Kid Leroy concert who's going to experience the whole thing through my phone.
Yep.
I am a 35-year-old father of 2, soon to be 3, who has got eyes for one thing and one thing only, and that is a buffet that will make me come on myself. And when you want to see when you stand at the top of that buffet and you sort of just survey what's down the line there, you had veal, you had lamb cutlets, you had salt and pepper calamari,
which was exquisite.
Fucking exquisite. Not enough
calamari,
people got into it.
I find this, punters and dribblers, and I think you'll agree with me, calamari is a difficult one because it sweats. So usually when you get your hands on it, it's fucking soggy and scat. This wasn't. This was crispy.
Well,
calamari.
it had been allowed to sweat, and it had been allowed for the sweat to evaporate. The genius of it, Eddie, the genius of it is that they had the lid to the calamari open. Were it closed, it would have sweat and it would have sogged. This did not sog for a moment.
Not a moment. You had prawn cocktails there that were fucking ridiculous.
Chippies.
Did I mention you had gravy, you had chips, you had broccoli covered in cheese, punters and dribblers. Covered in cheese. It's like a cheesy cauliflower, but it was a cheesy broccoli.
Yep.
And I'm cool with that. Me and broccoli are good mates. Did I mention there was veal, someone cutting it for you?
Yeah, some guy
There was a sashimi bar, there was oysters, there was lobsters.
Yeah.
There was prawns.
I'd
Was
like
there lobster?
to,
No,
but it was
prawn.
crab. It was crab.
It was crab.
I would like to make a point as well of shouting out the Verve Clicquot doing the rounds.
Yeah. Only Verve.
Only Verve.
You could only drink. You wanted champagne, Verve only.
It was only Verve.
Like if you went there
Clicquot.
looking for a bit of yellow Glen, you're in the wrong room.
Sorry, dude. Get down to GA where the yellow Glens
You're in the
hang out.
wrong room.
It was no yellow Glen to be seen. None of that horse piss.
Nah.
The horses piss out.
Verve
that.
and Verve only, and there was a lot of waiters in there, so you didn't have to wait too long.
Well, you basically just had to look around and someone was waiting there for you. Basically, everyone had their own personal Clicquot bottle. Served responsibly, of course.
Of course. I think that goes without saying,
Yeah.
Tom. There was beautiful chicken. Did I mention that?
Look, there was.
There was this fucking thing of fries was huge.
Pork belly.
Humongous.
Crispy pork belly. The crispiest, dude. And now I made the right decision of not eating breakfast before in anticipation. And
Of greatness.
somehow I feel like I needed to stretch my stomach though, but like I almost regret. I don't know how you could like stretch your stomach before a big buffet like that.
Yeah.
Like, do I drink a lot of water, swell that bitch out, throw it all back up, and then get in there for a buffet? Is that sort of a way
You need to talk to that Mr. Hot Dog guy.
Joey Chest.
Joey Chest.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut. Just be like, what's the lay of the land here, dude? How do I get the stomach ready for a buffet of that sort of consequence? We said, Tom and I, you know, it's nice to be in a room with movers and shakers, doing a bit of moving and a bit of shaking.
Yep.
But I would have liked, given the buffet and what it was all about, just to be there with me old mate, maybe me undies. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
what we were thinking.
And just walking around this thing on our own terms.
What I would have liked, Eddie, and we did remark
in
about
terms of
this,
like no plate.
was getting everyone out of the room by you and I,
Yep.
turning the lights off, keeping the big
dimming 'em.
screens on.
Dimming 'em.
Dim, and they don't have to be pitch black because you would like to be able to see the buffet. But I do imagine those huge screens would illuminate the room to a sufficient amount for me to see the buffet.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Everyone out there, maybe save except for like two waiters who are bringing us Verve.
Yep.
And we've got
And tequila.
and tequila. Just two waiters to do whatever we please, basically, from a serving perspective. Punters and dribblers are not pigs. Probably a couple of lazy boys. I'd ask for them not to be leather because there's some sweating going to happen when I'm eating. You know what I mean? If we're eating at the scale we expect, there's going to be some sweat and I don't want to stick to it. And I'm going to be in my undies, so it's going to be bare skin on bare. It's going to be leather on leather.
Listen, we can't be on leather.
No.
That's just know that.
It's
Lay a towel down.
Yeah, well, get us a couple of towels.
Lay a towel down.
Or, whatever.
And don't make it white. I want this to be a dark towel. I don't want to see what I've done to it.
No, God, no. Black towels.
Black towels.
Black towels.
Black or brown?
Like black tie, but it's towels for us to sit in fucking...
Oh, is this a black towel event?
Yeah, where you and me sit next to a buffet in relative nudity and watch the horses.
That's a black towel event. Yeah, big chairs.
And we
black
just do
towels
laps.
down there. We just lap.
do laps around the buffet.
Yeah.
And gamble.
And gamble excessively. Well,
Responsibly, excessively.
Yeah,
But we do.
We do.
And we have a good time.
We have a great time.
It was fucking terrific. Now,
That's what you wanted to do with that buffet. That's the sort of buffet I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was so memorable. It was so fucking exquisite. Everything on there fucked the house down.
It did. And then
Nothing was
the
out of place.
desserts rolled
Nothing went wrong.
around.
Mate, chocolate fondue, fucking little brownies and shit.
Apricot chocolate.
They had whole fucking platters of just chocolate.
Like just like broken up
chocolate. Like someone had broken it up so you could get a big, a little bit. They had white chocolate.
Shards of chocolate.
Shards of chocolate.
There was no like consistency to the shape because it was shards. Like if you smashed a window of chocolate and then just scooped
There was
it
a
all
giant pavlova.
fucking huge. They needed a fence to keep that thing in. The thing was fenced.
It was fenced. It was fenced.
It was fenced in.
It was fenced in the pav.
Such was the weight of the pavlova, it would have just oozed out all over the fucking place. They had to build a
It
fence.
was fenced in, yeah.
Now, as you said, Eddie, sure, did I love, getting to put my arms around my old mate St. Peter Volandis again? Yes. Was it great to catch up with Doc again, Saran Cook? Yes, it was. Was it great to chat to Andrew Abdo and get his mobile number? It was, but I would have
best friends.
But I would have kicked them all out for a black towel event with me, mate. I would have.
Mate, and that's saying something. To kick your best mates, Dr. Saran Cook out and St. Peter Volandis, to kick out your best mates, Abdo, not as much, but he's
he's
to kick them out and go, sorry, bruh.
I'm gonna sit
It's
here
a black tie. It's a black towel event now. That's saying something.
Yeah, it is.
That's saying something.
But it was a great day, and thank you to them for having us. And hopefully we do get the big boy on, Abdo. That'd be nice.
Said he'd do it.
He said he'd do it. And now I haven't tried to get in touch with that mobile number. I imagine if he gave me a fake one.
No, he's not.
I don't think he would, Ed.
He's not about that life.
But it'd sting if he did.
I don't think he's about that life.
He seemed
We
like
had a good chat.
We did have a good chat. Seems like a nice dude.
Yeah. Loves the game.
Loves the game. Well, loves the game of rugby league.
Loves the game of rugby.
Jeez.
Just wants the best for the game.
That's all he wants.
He wants the best for the game.
Yeah. And we want
And
the
that's
best-
all we want.
That's all we want, exactly. So it's a meeting of the minds, really. I've actually got I've got some questions for him. I was thinking about it last night, which I won't share with the people, obviously.
I wouldn't share them with the people.
No, I wouldn't share with the people.
Because then
Because we said, mate, we'll hold your fucking feet to the fire, Andrew. And he said, oh, it's all right. You ask me whatever you want. We said, you'll regret that, boss. He goes, well, I don't have to answer him. We're like, touche. You've done this before.
You regret that, boss. Know that.
Yeah.
So a great day at the
Great
track.
day.
We
Good
were,
day. I think
we
a good day on the
finished.
punt, sort of.
We finished okay.
You know what, dude?
I actually finished all right.
So did I.
I got the
But then I had a couple.
I got the 2 sevens out the back door. I got Disney Castle, and we got that other one.
The 12?
We got the $7 thing out there, and we got the $7 thing when I got home.
Yeah. Listen, we had a couple of really good wins yesterday.
We also had we had our biggest bet of the day on that fucking thing that came second by.
Tommy Berry fucked us. Yeah.
That was paying what?
I also don't
8?
want to. Tell you what we learned. There's a lesson that we learned, and we learned it relatively quickly, but it was too late, and we learned it hard. But when you go out to these things and there's people moving and shaking everywhere like you wouldn't believe. 2 years in a row, I'm pretty sure, Edward. We've been given like a, hey, this is the guy who you want to listen to.
Oh,
this is
yeah.
You want to follow this guy's tips in back-to-back
years.
Yes.
Actually, no, we didn't get one last year because
Someone gave us one last year, but I don't know. Well, I didn't have enough time to even get fucked by it.
in 2 of the 3 years, we've spent considerable time with a man in the know.
Yes. And both times, and this is 2 separate men in the know, though.
Yes.
And I'm only going to refer to this year's man in the know, and that's Nick.
Yep.
I didn't catch Nick's last name, but he's a great guy.
Really nice guy.
And he is, for all intents and purposes, a man in the know. The mistake that we made was that we were already men in the know. We were having great wins.
Yeah, we were.
We were fucking winning. And then we got handed Nick. Power to you, Nick. Love ya. Think you got his number.
Did get Nick's number.
But
Nick's a great guy. He was charismatic. We had a great time.
Great head of hair.
I really loved his head of hair. Liked his
stature?
I liked his vibe.
Oh, he's a nice guy. We got on.
We got on really well, and everyone's going, have you met Nick yet?
Yeah.
Have you met Nick? And we're
Which
like,
is a lot of fucking pressure.
Who's Nick?
Yeah.
When I say, have you met Nick yet? We probably got 12, 15, have you met Nicks
Have you met
yesterday?
Nicks?
Jesus.
Like Nick was like the guy. The guy.
Jolly old Saint Nick.
We get one of them was
Scratched?
right? Which was his fucking best of the day, I think.
Yep.
Which was something.
Musselbrook, $1.02.
Was
No,
$1.85. at Muswellbrook, couldn't lose, impossible to lose, got scratched.
And it was called like Eagle something, so it was already in, like we liked it.
Jetty Beale, he liked.
Done, second.
Was that second?
That was second. That was the one where I was basically about to mount him and start
and
to
then there was the Tessa.
have my way with him, and then we got done.
What was the other one? Tessa Vista or?
Tavui, Tavita, to something. Was that in the big dance, or was that Jetabil?
No, Jetty Beale was later.
Tabby time?
Tabby time.
Was
Tabby time.
fourth in the big dance.
Yeah, so Tabby Time got fourth, Jetty Beale got second.
Yeah.
And looked like it was storming.
Yeah, it did. That's Jetty Beale was like, this is Nick's redemption here. And he was
because it got to the outside, fucking put the hammer down, and came second.
And he was with us for that race. Whereas, like, because again, he was getting passed around at this event. Like, from what he told us, he'd spoken to some heavies about some tips. He was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm in some fucking hot water. I've been giving out these fucking tips, and they aren't coming in."
Yeah. He had a crack with Jetty Beale. As I said to him, at least they're not coming blast. You know, at least they were there with the whips are cracking.
Yes.
Problem for Nick is they didn't win.
And we were winning before. So, like, we'd already had a taste. That's what I liked about yesterday. I wasn't up by the end of the day, but I had some really, really nice wins. I just reinvested them.
I reckon we had 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah. One of them we didn't even really realise had won. And
one of them I got on, like, fucking, I reckon 20, 30 seconds after the jump. Shout out to Neds with that technology that came in. And, you know, you're having conversations and I'm like out of the corner of my eye looking at the screen like, what's going on?
Shout out to the guy that we were talking to who was like, listen, I know we're having a chat right now, but I can see you want to watch this race. And we're like, thank you, sir. We will be right back.
And it won.
And we were like...
Again, we went... The problem yesterday, punters and dribblers, this was the only problem that we had, Tom and I.
The only problem.
The only problem we had is we went big twice and both of them lost.
Yeah.
We had pretty good bets yesterday across the board. We had like 6 or 7 winners, great. But the 2 times we were like, it's time to go.
Yeah.
In a big way, responsibly, but big for us. They don't win.
We pulled the trigger at the wrong times, and that is on us. But it's also on Nick.
I'm going to say it's probably mostly on Nick.
It's mostly on Nick because I think they were both his.
They were.
Yeah. And again, you could also then say a bit on us.
No. We
had systems and processes that were working.
One of them were on him.
Our systems and processes where we bet this. We had like our amount we bet every race, unless we were feeling froggy, and then we'd leap.
Yeah.
But it was the same amount on every race, and then every race we had to bet on. Like we bet on basically everything at Randwick. They had to bet on everything at Randwick and at Flemington.
Yep.
And we sometimes went away from that.
We would sprinkle a little bit of Eagle Farm.
Well, but the essentials were Flemington and Randwick, but obviously that did not preclude us from sprinkling, and sprinkling we did. Things were good. I also made the mistake of getting home and just seeing out the day at Ascot.
Yeah, see, that was a mistake. I saw the day out with Disney Castle, $7 out the back door. Thanks for coming.
You went out to dinner. That was your benefit. I was like, well, I'm just fucking teetering around here, a couple of things. I'm just going to... Got close a couple of times. Would have been juicy. Would have been really nice. Didn't, though.
Back in Willie Pike in the last?
Mate, I actually didn't even get on fucking Pike in the last. I don't even know what the fuck I did. I was just going... No, I was sticking to my processes. So I don't even know who the fuck I backed, but the process was the tips we'd been given.
The Cube. Cube was good yesterday.
Cube was good. Big shout out to our friends at 4 Pines for stocking the booze at the golf day.
Terrific. Incredible.
Beers for days, Japanese lagers. They even put a team in that, by the look of that scoreboard, did very well. But the day itself would not have been what it was, our golf day last Friday, without our friends at 4 Pines. And the Japanese lagers, which, Edward, were a hit.
They were a hit. There's no denying it. Everyone that was sucking on them, which is everyone, said they loved them.
Yeah. And those that hadn't had them yet, just, suckling at the dick of 4 Pines.
Listen, punters and dribblers, go down to your local, pick up a case of Japanese lager from our good friends at 4 Pines.
Do it. Honestly, you will not regret it. And then let us know, because that's also nice when you reach out and you go, oi, you know what? I turned Japanese, and guess what? I ain't turning back. Have you seen the unfortunate post-Melbourne Cup furor, hot water?
Yes, I have.
That AJ Brimson's found himself in.
So to get you up to speed, punters and dribblers, AJ Brimson shared a screenshot of his betting account yesterday, showing that he'd got Knight's Choice at 100 to 1, won 10,100. Says there's a quote. There's like a little thing saying "See you at Pav." Now, underneath his Knight's Choice win, he's scrubbed out 2 bets and hasn't done an appropriate job
He's
at
done,
it.
He's done an awful job.
Well, this is what he should have done. He should have cropped it out completely instead of trying to erase it with like white fucking
Or share bet slip.
whatever.
Even better.
Either. It looks like he's been punting on the NRL, which you can't do. On
now,
first try scorers.
or either NRL or just the. Because I saw someone saying it's just the internationals. Now I'm not saying that both are not allowed. I believe, but like
It looks here that it's like Sunday.
yeah. So like as
So,
in
like,
he
the
may
game's
not be
just
punting
gone.
on the game on rugby. Like he's not necessarily punting on. Well, there's no evidence here of him punting on like Titans games and shit. But it might be just an international. Obviously, you can't. But then if that's all it is, like if he just bet on the Pacific Champs, I'm like, he's not even playing in it. I get it, but I'm being like an AJ advocate here. It's unfortunate because
Mate, he's
maybe-
tried to get rid of him for a reason.
he knows he shouldn't be doing it.
Because he knows he shouldn't
The
be doing
fact that is the extent to which he's done it is actually the biggest. Like you almost deserve the fine for that because that's fucking ridiculous.
it. You know what that is? That's rugby league right
Oh
there.
my god, that'll do.
That's rugby league. I know I shouldn't be doing it because that's why I'm trying to get rid of it. I can't punt on fucking rugby league, which is why I'm trying to get rid of it.
Yes.
But instead of getting rid of it completely by cropping it out or just sharing the bet slip to one, I'm going to just sort of get rid of it.
Yeah. Also, my urge, and this probably speaks to a generational thing, which I can semi-identify with, but not really. My urge to share my successful bet overrides logic and sort of, I guess, the ability to forward think about how this may go.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what? Sure, you can still see a perfect outline of 2 footballs there, basically, that I have sort of scribbled in white. Not only that, but also I now can't plead ignorance because I can't pretend like I didn't know because I've clearly tried to wipe it out. He has since apparently come out and said it's his mum's account, which still doesn't make sense about why it was whited out. And can we scroll up to the top?
Where his manager's like, oh, it's his family account. It's his family's
Yeah,
account.
right.
But it was his mum's.
That the account is Brimmo. You know?
No, that's not his betting account.
Oh, is that his Instagram account?
No,
That's
your
his
name's not
Instagram.
on.
Oh,
Story.
sorry. I thought don't you have a name in your account?
If you click that little man, it would have said.
Oh, okay, right.
You know what I mean?
Right. He does.
Listen, we both know. We all know it's not your mum's account. We know it's not your family account. You can say it all you want, but you
Who the
wouldn't have-
fuck has a family account?
He's saying that he's saying that one of his family members put this bet on and then sent him the bet slip and he put it up.
And
So it's not even
As
his
like a
bet.
joke.
right. And so he's saying
No, so he's basically trying to claim his family member's winning bet,
could the
or is
so wait so there's a bit of stolen valor. He's saying
that's what he's saying. He's like, I'm stolen the valor.
I'm being
but
caught
then
out
I've-
stolen valor.
Yeah, but then I've whited out the fucking rugby league bets for some reason, even though it's stolen valor.
yeah, right.
Right.
I feel bad for him because that $10,000 that he didn't win, he's probably gonna get fined maybe more than that.
The problem that Brimmo's in here, this is the problem for Brimmo, is that, and this might shock you in your management. I don't want for this to come as like bad news. But I think there's a pretty good chance that they don't buy the family member yarn and they just investigate your account via this betting company and go, has he been putting bets on rugby league? And if you have, a lot of trouble.
Do you reckon? So
Big
could
trouble in Little China.
would they be able to go and look at his account
1,000%. If
just
they,
contractually?
they'd
Like,
go, if you want to show our markets, we need to make sure that it's squeaky clean. Show us his account.
A family member sent me copped it, posted it. I have the whole text conversation with the family member. They will be sent to the NRL integrity unit, and it will all be hit on the head straight away.
There's nothing to it. It was all a bit of a wind up and it just backfired. Right. Well, like, they'll see. They'll see the
Yeah,
Integrity
yeah.
Commission will be looking into this, Brimmo, unfortunately.
Yes.
So either this is a case of stolen valor.
Yeah, of the highest.
Of the highest order.
Which deserves some form of financial punishment in and of itself.
Oh, so you're just trying to claim bets that aren't even your own.
Listen, that will require some suspension of some sort.
Has to.
Stolen valor is
Has to.
just as bad.
Oh, if not worse.
The integrity of your fullback here,
Mate,
of your club.
I'm being genuine here. If he's just been punting on Pacific fucking championship games, that's like whatever. The real crime here,
Yeah.
if we want to take AJ at his word, is the stolen valor.
Yeah.
He's out here pretending like he picked Knight's choice. No one fucking picked
No
Knight's
one
choice,
did.
mate. No one picked it. You're pretending like you did. You didn't put that much money on it. What, $100? I doubt it. And now you're trying to claim it as your own, saying see you at the PAV.
Yeah. Because if I do see you at the PAV, I'm expecting free drinks.
I guarantee you go down the PAV last night, he's walking around telling everyone that bet was his.
Yeah, he's showing it
guaranteed.
off.
That should be crime. That's a crime against punting.
Yeah, it is. And now, and this, listen, let's go back and cover our tracks here. Big fan of Brimmo.
Huge.
This is
No,
not
we're just calling the incident as
we're
we see
calling
it.
as we see it. Listen, you got to call it, right? There's, one of the hallmarks of Hello Sport, over the years we've been doing this, Edward, is that we call it as we see it, without fear or favour, no matter if we like you or not. And we like you.
Huge fan.
But this is some style. This is either you're in some hot rugby league curry right now with the higher ups, piping hot curry, or you're in some hot curry with Hello Sport because this is stolen valor.
Yeah. Now, I think you'd probably rather be in hot curry with the higher ups.
Fucking oath you would.
You don't want to be in hot curry with us stealing bets, making out like your own 10,100 in the biggest race of the year from a general populace perspective.
Well, it's the biggest race in Australia. It is what it is.
Bunting-wise, yeah. Yeah.
His
prize
mum
money
must
wise.
be a
no, not
fucking-
prize money
Not
wise,
prize
the
money.
Everest
That's
is.
the Everest.
His mum must be a good punter if she's laying down $100 on a fucking $100 roughie.
Listen,
Anyone
and that's
putting $100
Listen,
on night.
Listen, he says
If it's
he's
his
got the
mum.
receipts. He reckons he's got the receipts that essentially...
He's got the text thread.
But I would also... I'd the problem again for Brimmo is I'd be shocked if they just leave it at the texts. You know? I don't think they're just taking the text as evidence. I think they're probably going to run an eye over your account.
Why don't the NRL then just have this as, like, I look at they look at every fucking player's betting account.
But well, I just don't think that they would be the manpower to fucking do it. Unless
What if they did? What if they put it down to the clubs?
Unless you... Well, I don't know. How would you even do that? You'd have to basically go, this is all registered rugby league players for this year, send it to all the betting companies and be like, have you got any of these accounts? Like, I don't even know.
It's basically more of a like, hey, we won't, just don't draw attention to yourself.
I think it's probably more a case of don't fucking let us find out about this.
The NRL has agreements in place with bookmakers to allow them to monitor whether players are gambling on the sport.
There you go.
Agreements allows them, so they can
To
look into
monitor.
it.
Yeah.
And
They will.
And if you were going to, just make a fucking account that can't be traced back to you, or would it be card related?
No, you got to verify it. So it's got to be
With
you
your
have to
license
have
and
to
stuff.
license
Yeah,
and passport
fully,
and electoral commission and shit. You can't make a fake account
No, you can't, can you?
because that's laundering. You'd be able to all the fucking bikers that start laundering the fuck out of the
Great
money.
point. It's a great point.
So it's all verified.
Don't
It's
look
all
into my betting account.
all squeaky
Embarrassing.
clean. But I hope for Brimmo's sake that this is just a case of stolen valor, even though that's really rank. That's probably the best outcome.
Well, that's
for
going to be
him.
the best outcome for him and his career. Obviously, it will not reflect well on his gambling character
No.
to be stealing valor.
Because he's just out there and stealing fucking
Well,
bet
how will I
slips.
know if he's ever fucking hit a bet ever again?
Well, it's exactly right. So the next time he gets a winner, you just go, you've just pulled that out of a group chat somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You've gone on to Big Bets Australia
Punt
and just
Hub.
started Punt Hub and started ripping out fucking bet slips.
yeah. And listen, it does also. You know what it does, Eddie, as well. It reminds us all of the time-honored tradition of tips, not slips, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, where was the tip?
Tips, not slips. Because if you're a slip guy, I'm like, show me your losses.
Yeah.
Where are your losses at, mate? Like, you don't crop them out.
Don't come and suck yourself off once the bet's hit. Where was the tip for your old mate Tommy Burns?
Exactly right. You want to share something to your stories? Share I love Knight's Choice.
Yeah.
No one's looking at Knight's Choice. No one.
No one.
But I am. Then you turn yourself into a fucking hero.
Yeah.
Because right now you're the villain.
And you know what, though? It is, and I will say this, it is the right type of off-season scandal for me.
Yep, personally.
Yep.
Huge fan of it. A player of some talent, of some note, stealing bets or just scrubbing them out poorly.
Scrubbing them out poorly and betting on the game of rugby league.
Both hilarious.
I feel bad for you.
Both hilarious.
Yes.
Both these things are ridiculous.
Yeah.
The worst cover-up job of all time or stolen valor. Both hilarious.
I do feel bad for rugby league players not being able to bet on rugby league because it is the funnest sport in the world to bet on.
Stiff shit.
Oh, of course. But
Yeah.
I'm just merely...
No, but you know what? NRL players, you and your brothers are the ones that got rid of fucking player markets for us.
Yeah.
Player props.
Yeah.
You can't really do them anymore
Well, I think
because
that was
blokes...
Ryan Tandy.
That was Ryan Tandy.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. But, you know...
But he fucked them.
But this sort of... Like, if you...
Player props, dude. Fucking I wish... I
Dude,
miss
player props would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That was ruined for us. Don't ruin first try scorers for us. Don't fuck us on these.
If you fuck us on this sort of stuff.
You know what I mean? This is where it goes.
Yeah, this is what happens. Do not fuck us on that.
What were player props? That might have been before my.
Like how many
Meters.
fucking meters and shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking Hindmarsh run 30+ meters and shit.
Yeah. Wasn't it like first points, like how they would come, like 2 points, try.
Yeah. He dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Or did he know he head high
No,
someone?
Tandy basically, I think.
I think he dropped the ball then head high someone.
No, what he did, I think what he did something. Yes, I think what he did was he dropped the ball.
Yep.
Coming out of their own end.
Yep.
Then he head high'd the guy to right in front of the post to get him to take a penalty, and the guy took a quick tap and scored a try.
But he had a heap of money. He
On
had
penalty.
shitloads of money on 2 points being the first. Or like, basically there was a lot of money that went on this one outcome, and they look at that sort of shit and they're like, interesting. Yeah. I don't know if it was in his own account. That would have been ridiculous.
But imagine those sorts of things when you're like, when they're looking at it and they go, oh, there's a shitload of money on this random thing that just happened, and just finding out that it's just some genius.
Because but the bookies have to let the NRL know, because if there's like anomalies like that, they flag on the internal system. That's like a disgraceful amount of money on a weird market.
Yes.
That can be manipulated.
Like a Tedesco hat trick. No, I'm just... Personal joke, everyone. Sorry. Couple of PJs. Couple of PJs going on.
Just a couple of PJs. Great scandal though.
Yeah.
This is our bread and butter.
What could it's a great scandal as long as they're like long term.
As long as
I don't want him to like get kicked out of the game
this is a great scandal if it's stolen valor.
If
and we
it's
leave it at
stolen
that.
valor, yes.
I don't want him to be kicked out of the game.
No,
either.
you don't want it to be, because unless you're finding out that he's like betting on Titans games. Because I honestly think you should be able to bet on games you're not playing in if you're a footballer. I think you should. If you're not playing in them, who gives a fuck?
It's too grey.
I just don't know why it is grey though. If you're not playing in it, why is it grey? What's the greyness?
Yes, your relationship to other players and stuff.
But you could still be doing that. Like those relationships
No,
exist whether
because
you're
I
betting
think
on it
the
or not.
idea is that like, oh fucking maybe you got a fucking wink, hint, hint, and maybe I'm putting on money for you, my mate, who knows, because he's playing in the game.
But that could still happen now, right? Regardless of whether they can bet on games or not, you could be telling your mate who to bet for.
I think it's just cleaner.
Yeah,
just cleaner.
Because can't you do it in the like say NFL for example? Like they can bet on games they're not playing it.
No idea. I'd be surprised.
Anyway,
AJ would be a devastating loss. I hope it all comes good.
Yep. We don't want that to happen at all.
No, you can't in the NFL.
What?
You can't bet on other NFL games.
Okay.
If you're a player.
Interesting. I swear, is there a sport where you can? Is there a sport where you can bet on it? No, I guess you're right in terms of just the blanket.
What's the consequences here for AJ if they do an audit?
Well, so back in 2017, the latest, the Tigers player Tim Simona got his contract ripped up, but he was like betting on opposition teams, betting on opposition players scoring against him, all that kind of shit. But then back in 2014, there was like David Williams got suspended for the rest of the season after placing multiple bets on games. Other players, Ethan Lowe was suspended for 2 games for betting on one game in which his club was involved. So I think it's fairly relative.
And I think
the
Wolfman's
severity of
one
it.
was like he wasn't even playing in those games, but that he was still betting on. He was betting on other NRL games.
He was playing.
Oh, he
some
was
of them.
playing?
Yeah, so he was. I was just reading the same article, Toddler.
Dude.
And then after... So this
Leagues, bro.
This one at the same time as David Williams, there was about 6 other players who all got done. for different suspensions depending on whether they were involved in the games or not. And then after that, I don't know the context of this. This must have all come out at the same time. And then after that, a zero tolerance policy came in. So that must have been like a line in the sand.
Okay, so
that was a
the
different time.
catalyst.
So that's hard to gauge.
Like
What
Hummel
the
Hunt was
suspensions
suspended
would
for
be.
2 games for betting on one game in which his club was involved, but in which he did not participate.
Who was that?
Hummel Hunt.
Was how long?
No, just a 2-game suspension.
2 game suspension.
When was that?
2014.
So he was a part of this same crop
So
with
it's
Williams.
so it's more strict now.
It
Fucking
is, yeah.
Heimel Hunt's been around for a minute. 2014.
I was just thinking that as well.
Mate,
Jesus.
if they uncover a few fucking rugby like
When did Ethan Lowe get done?
NRL
Same
bets in
time.
the
2014.
Aussies,
That's
Okay,
same
right.
thing.
Fuck.
He's still looking at
They did a
he's
big
looking at a
audit
pretty
of
fucking-
betting records.
Slade Griffin and Cody Nelson as well.
So no one since then, really.
Just Tim Simona from what I've seen.
Etch.
But Tim Simona also sold rugby league jerseys through online auctions without passing on the full proceeds to the nominated charities.
No, yeah, Tim Simona was,
So he was a
and he was doing
scumbag.
it under the guise of charity, I believe.
Yeah.
which he what he just
Tim
said.
Simona, piglet.
Hopefully it's stolen valor.
That's what we.
Because
hope.
I'm a big fan of AJ and his
So-
work, and I don't want him scrubbed out of the game. And from what I'm reading here, if he's been punting on NRL games, he's going to get suspended for a while.
Yep.
When I was, this might not be that funny, but when I was like around the time of Tim Simona, I would have been like 13 or 14. And I was like obsessed with footy, like the same way I am now. I used to do like drawings of players and like put them on Instagram and shit. And Tim Simona at one stage like screenshotted my drawing and put it as his profile picture.
Oh.
So he was like my hero for a while.
Oh no.
So I was pretty gutted, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cute, Cody. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, so you cried when he got done.
Well, I would have been probably 17 by the time he got done, but there's still a
Did
part
you
of me.
cry?
I don't think I cried.
But you would have been rattled.
I would have been rattled for sure. Like at that point, I'd seen a few West Tigers winters, so I'd sort of
Yeah,
I'd
you'd been
toughened by then.
steeled to
Yeah.
disappointment. Did you? Is your photo of Tim Simona still on your Instagram?
No.
Well, you took it down.
Well, it was 10 years ago now.
Yeah, but it's your same Instagram.
Well, I've probably
Do you go
deleted-
back and like delete your old
Yeah,
posts?
I would have at some stage for
Fuck,
sure.
I don't know if I ever have.
I don't think
Simona.
you have to.
I could find them though. I could probably track them down. They would have been pretty shitty drawings. I was probably like year 7 or 8.
Yeah, I bet they were still pretty good though. That's cute that you used to
Oh,
draw
thanks,
your
mate.
heroes. Do you just draw us now?
Yeah, I just sit at home. No, I just draw Guru.
Yeah, Rue and what Pat and Will.
There's Brody Croft favourite to replace fucking Ben Hunt.
Brody Croft.
Dude, no, see, I'm not surprised by that. And I mean, like,
Where's Brody Croft been?
he's been winning Man of Steels.
Been at Leeds.
He won a Man of Steel.
At Leeds.
Yeah,
Did he?
Did he win 1 or 2? I also heard Bevan French, who just won the fucking
Man of Steel?
Super League, whatever that competition is.
Yeah. And he got man of the match in that game, I'm
Does
pretty
it
sure.
go NRL, Super League, Queensland in the 80s, their competition that Wally won? Is that sort of how it goes?
Well, I mean, it's basically like a country competition. It's like Group 11, right?
Yeah.
It's probably Group Footy then Queensland in the 80s.
Queensland in the 80s.
Then Brisbane in the 80s.
Yeah.
Croft was at Salford Red Devils from 22 to 23, and when he got the Man of Steel, and now he's at Leeds. Oh, since 2023 he's been
So
at
he's won
Leeds.
1 steal.
Yeah.
And has he won a comp over there? He couldn't cut it for the Storm, and he couldn't cut it with the Broncos. Now, maybe he just needed to go away and cut
He's
his
won a
teeth.
Moss.
Yeah, I know. He's won a Moss, which obviously counts for something. But so's Jackson Hastings, and he came back and hasn't set the world on fire from a Moss back to the NRL. No. Sometimes you're just like, again, you go. Super League is it's just the standard below where you can go over there and dominate.
No,
Now,
Croft hasn't won any premierships over there.
There's Jamie Lyon who goes over there and wins a Moss, maybe 2 Moss, couple of Moss, at least 1 Moss. He comes back and he is such a good player that it's like, yeah, you come back and you dominate the NRL. He was dominating the NRL before he left.
Halves seem to struggle. So like going over there and coming back doesn't seem to work.
Well, you either got it or you don't. Like you're either up to it. Like Jackson Hastings is someone who's been
Like
bouncing
the
around
best ever
clubs
fucking
forever.
Super League players have come over here in halves and just been fucking dominant.
You see a player like Bevan French, for example, who goes over there and he's a dominant Super League half, like fucking ripping them apart.
He was a winger in the NRL.
He was a winger and a fullback in the NRL, and now he's a dominant 6. Someone like Matt Duffy, Apparently Matt Duffy's fucking killing it over there.
Really?
Like Matt Duffy had flashes of brilliance in the NRL where like he'd make some sick break or something, but like on the whole he was inconsistent.
Well, Dufty wasn't a household name.
He wasn't a rep player by any means, right?
No.
I think he played for the Dragons and the Dogs, Duffy. That's
Yeah, he wasn't at the Dogs for long, maybe one season.
yeah. But
Yeah, Dufty got most tries in a Super League season this year.
as in ever?
Yeah,
What was it?
17.
That's the most tries in the history of a Super League season? Or did he just win it?
Or
this
maybe
year?
in his career, sorry. That's on me.
So he just got the most tries of his career this year?
Yeah.
In the Super League.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, sure, Brodie Croft, give him a crack. Like, you'd hope he can come back and do it. It'd be nice. Is he a 7 though?
Yeah, he was a 7 at Melbourne and
And
Brisbane.
so Kyle will play 6. The thought would be.
Or Gutho.
Also, what, they're going to fuck Kyle off? As if Flanner's going to fuck his own son off.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough
There's no
position to
way,
be in.
bruh.
Why?
I don't know. Just feel like that's just a hard thing to have to do. I'm not saying Flanner's not up to it, but like,
It's a ruthless call. There's
Yeah.
absolutely no doubt about that. But Shane strikes me as a winner who wants to win.
Croft also just signed a 10-year deal, didn't he, recently? Or the last couple of years?
10 years?
Yeah. Or something like a
How old
long-term
is he?
contract.
who's signing?
27.
How old is he?
He's 27. He
A
signed a 10-year
9-year
deal.
contract that would see the club retain him till the end of 2030.
Who the fuck signs a 10-year Super League deal? Must be a good deal. And I guess maybe
If it was 9 years, he signed it in 2021.
Yeah, 22.
Christ alive. That seems like a fucking dumb deal.
Well,
to me.
maybe he's. Or you could also be like, mate, look, I don't think I'm going to cut it in the NRL. Let's just like lock up my financial future for the next 10 years.
It's just you're very old.
He might
36,
just, yeah.
37.
It's a good deal for him.
It's a good deal for him.
I'm talking about the club.
Oh yeah. No, for sure.
Talking about the club here.
No, sorry, I was talking about Croft.
Mate, if they wanted to give me a 40-year deal until I was 65, I'd be like, yeah, sweet. Dumb, but great.
Sure, not exactly the same, but I do hear what you're saying. I do understand what
You
you're
understand
saying.
what I'm saying.
I
I've
understand
like
what you're saying.
redlined the...
You've redlined the idea,
Yes.
but you are making a point.
My point is, unlikely I'll be playing at 65, but if you're going to give me free money, I will take
I will
it.
play at 65.
Well,
yeah,
I'll
so
try to.
he signed that 9-year contract with the Salford Red Devils, and then they sold him to Leeds for like a record fee.
Oh, so he signed that deal with the club he's not even at.
Yeah.
Okay.
He signed it in 2020, and then financial issues with the Red Devils saw them reluctantly sell him to Leeds.
Okay, so
What
I-
did he get
Record
sold for?
fee.
I love
Have
that
a
they do
look.
transfer fees over there.
Yep. It's very Premier League.
It'd be fun to see players get fucking sold around here.
Yeah, it would, dude. I'd love them to be sold. That way makes it way more fun.
Way more fun.
Question for Abdo.
It would also only be like 32 at the end of that 10-year deal that doesn't exist anyway. It's not
32?
It's not that old.
Oh, right.
Well, he's
So-
27 now. It's 5 years away.
All right. Okay.
Fair.
So,
But is it even still in existence?
yeah, it doesn't
He's
say
been sold
like
the
it.
fucking Leeds. Yeah, is there anything else going on in the rugby league news?
Brandon Smith, did you see that?
No.
Roosters, few rumours that the Roosters won't re-sign him at the end of his contract next year.
I'm not going to say. I mean, like that's interesting.
It's also potentially Ben Hunt related.
Yeah,
potentially.
potentially.
There could be multiple reasons.
There could be multiple reasons. I have no idea. I like Brandon Smith. We were trying to find out whispers about what the fuck's going on with Terrell May.
Oh yeah, did you
yesterday.
get anything?
Sort of. I'm trying to remember it correctly. Basically, it
Of
was just
like what's happened?
Yeah, apparently it's honestly like he's done nothing. It's
Right.
like they don't think that he is
A rooster.
a rooster, part of the Roosters' way.
What?
Like, which doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't more to it in the sense of like they just maybe want to make a play for someone. Like, it's not like, oh, we've just decided that maybe you don't fit the.
The thought process was that they think they're going to have a couple of tough years, particularly next year. They think it's going to be tough, and that they need full buy-in from like quote unquote roosters who are going to have to fucking do some dirty work next year.
Roll up the sleeves and just
Roll up
dig
the
in.
sleeves and dig the fuck in because they're standing down the barrel of like maybe missing the 8. That's the thought.
But there wasn't a conversation with him about like his buy-in
They
his
must have made that up.
Did they re-sign him? I think maybe they might have re-signed him before Cheese went down, before fucking
Sam Walker
went down. Like
before Manu decided to leave, etc.
no, not since then. They knew all of them were
It
going.
was 6 months ago
Okay.
that he signed.
Yeah.
That's who you do.
That's the whisper.
That was the whisper.
Interesting.
I guess that makes sense.
Preparing
And
for
there's another whisper
long
about
winter.
Cheese, hey?
Yes. Yep. So yeah, it was just basically his contract's up at the end of next year, and there's whispers that they just won't renew it.
Interesting. Wonder where he'll go. Bunnies?
Dolphin.
I don't know. Do you reckon he wants to be in Sydney, settled?
Hard to say.
But there's a Rooster Way, apparently. That's sort of the discussions that we were hearing yesterday.
There's a
Rooster Way.
They've got a blueprint. They've
Yeah.
got like a system. They got their system processor. You got
well, you have to basically
a rooster
be
looks a certain way, acts like a certain way,
Yeah.
quacks, not quacks,
crows.
cockatoos a certain way.
Cockatoos, quacks and cockatoos, yeah. I think the Rooster Way, what they were saying they look for is basically premier representative talent at the top of their game worth shitloads of money that doesn't need to be developed, that they can purchase straight away that will help them compete for
The term they use internally is premiership ready.
Yes. Yep, that's what we're hearing.
It's funny you mentioned the Rooster Way. I was listening to the Matty Johns podcast with Aaron Woods yesterday, which was a particularly tough listen as he sort of... Pardon me? Yes.
Backstage with Matty Johns?
Yeah, tough listen as he sort of walked through the 2017 Big Four debacle. But he mentioned that, or Woodsy mentioned that the Roosters didn't really seem like a destination club for him just because of like the nature of the club. And he said he sort of described himself as a bit of a misfit and a bit of like a sort of muck around bloke, and that he didn't think he would fit in at the Roosters.
Were they trying to sign him?
Well, I think because Teddy was going there, they were probably talking to a few clubs at the time, and
And they were all trying to stick together, those four.
Yeah,
Were they?
really tough listen.
Were they trying to stick together?
They were the
Yeah,
four of
Woodsy
them were
was
trying
ba-
to stick together.
Woodsy was basically like around the time that they were all trying to get the contracts done. Like they were all keen to stay, and it was pretty much all but done. But then I think they were trying to sack Jason Taylor, I think he said, and basically the board was like to Woodsy, he was the captain at the time, that they were trying to get him to like go out and just sort of frame Jason Taylor as like the players were unhappy with him and stuff. Yeah. And Woodsy was basically like, dude, like, no, I don't really want to do that. I don't have a problem. He's like, I don't have a problem with him. I just want to play footy, whatever. So basically the board kind of unsettled them.
Oh, Jesus.
And then they kind of all just got up.
That's such a rugby league line. I just want to play footy.
Well, yeah, but it's also such a Tigers thing to do, and they've almost got 3 generational talent sewn up. And it's like the future of the club that sucks. And they're like, you know what? Let's go and put heaps of pressure on our captain to fucking shit on the coach publicly.
Well, I think like in hindsight now, it's looking back, it's like obviously the board was the issue, but it took like I want to say the general public. It took like it wasn't general knowledge that the board was the issue at the Tigers for a while because we just went through coaches until.
Is your board still there, or did they get rid of them all last year?
Now we've got Richo.
Huh?
So we did an internal review last year and didn't sack, but like
got rid of Litigious Lee.
Yeah, and Justin
Juzzy Pascoe.
But Juzzy Pascoe wasn't on the board.
No, he was the CEO.
Yes, excuse me, not the board, but like I'm referring to the board. I just mean the higher ups at the Tigers.
But so the board there, what's the go with the board then still at the Tigers? That's West End Balmain. That's still going, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Fucking hell. That club, dude.
Well, yeah,
I think there's conflicting interests at board level because there's fucking like literally different clubs.
No, I know, but it's just
so they're not going to agree on shit. You know what I mean?
Would ya?
Yeah.
Get it together.
Now Richo's there. I feel like we're in good hands.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, 100%.
Apparently, the whisper as well that we heard yesterday is the John Bateman to Manly thing's fallen over. It's not happening.
Not happening.
Falling over.
It's done.
Not happening.
It's already done.
Fallen over in what sense?
It's not happening.
It's just not happening.
Yeah, right.
Which is.
Do you know where it broke down or not?
No, listen, we couldn't get into it too deeply with our source.
We'll save the money for May.
I hope you're right, Tobler. I think we did ask about that, did we not?
Then I can't remember what the answer was.
But that has fallen over, which is a little disappointing. If we get Terrell, it's not. But if we do, But that's sort of all the whispers, though. Dude, I tell you what we need to do, though, and this is for 2024, and I think this journo that we were speaking to could be the one to do it. we need to develop a strong relationship with a rugby league journalist who we can get to who we can bring in.
We'd have already mused about that.
I know.
In other conversations.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'd love that just to get on the blower and go, what are you hearing?
But whether that be that we bring them on the show once a week, once every couple of weeks, to give us the lowdown, we can ask some fucking probing questions.
I like it.
Need to find some answers.
We've got questions. Have you got answers?
Yeah.
Because without answers, we're answerless.
Yeah, we're fucked. We're here with our dicks in our hands, just, making things up.
Exactly.
Which we never do. We don't make up.
Well, we make up nothing.
No.
It's not the cloth from which we're cut.
No.
We're cut from the integrity cloth.
Correct.
Integrity, honesty.
Integrity above all.
How about that heat we dropped yesterday
Oh,
on our Neds profiles?
Goodness gracious. Listen, if you aren't following along on our Neds profiles and you missed the hot Melbourne Cup heat, but don't worry, I got some good news for you. The heat keeps coming. And by heat, I'm going to be a little bit honest and say that there's usually no heat. But if you like to have a punt, you do it with Neds because they're the best in the biz. They support your boys and you support them, you support us, we all support each other. But you can follow along on our profiles. You can join our private About Even group in there. Biggest group they've got, they say. And you have a good time.
That's it. Pretty simple.
Yep.
Shout out to Neds.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Sua'ali'i's set to make his Wallabies debut on Sunday morning.
So they're just going to select him right off the rip?
He's on the bench, I think.
Who are we playing?
England at Twickenham.
Huge.
Sua'ali'i's been selected for the Wallabies already.
I
Off the
love
bench
that.
into the centres is the yarn.
that's
I
so
love
wild.
it. I'm pretty sure.
That is so wild.
He was in the squad ages ago.
No, he's straight into the squad, but he's not going to play a single professional rugby union game. He's just going to go straight to the Wallabies. That's what I
That's
think.
wild.
Oh, yeah, true.
The debut is
He hasn't
Wallabies.
played for the Waratahs.
No.
He's just going straight to the fucking big dog.
I think, I'm pretty sure I saw.
It makes a lot of sense.
On
I get
Twitter,
it.
Vossi was shitting on that, on the possibility that was going to happen.
Why?
I can't remember. Can you go try find on Twitter? Maybe Angus, because then Angus Crichton responded to it, and he's like, just let him play, bro, relax. But it was Vossi. Can we just find it? Because otherwise I'm going to fucking waste my time here.
So what, Vossi had his knickers in the
He
night?
said you can't have 2 training sessions and then get picked for Australia. He's got to play a game beforehand and it can't be a test. That's absolute rubbish.
Yes. Read it again.
You can't have 2 training sessions and then get picked for Australia. He's got to play a game beforehand and it can't be a test. That's absolute rubbish.
And then what did Crichton say?
I'll try and find Crichton's
It just would
comment.
be on his page, but I don't know if he tweets all that much Crichton, but he was just like, let the boy play, bro, relax. In reality, in actuality, now, he grew up playing rugby union. They are they're different games.
Yes.
But he's been training. You get back into it. It's not like he's never played before and he's got to learn the rules or he's got to learn, he's already a professional footballer. He's also at the very tippity top of athletic ability. I think
he's also not starting.
I don't think it's going to be too much an issue if you put him on the fucking wing or you put him at fullback and just let him, shush, let the kid play.
No, I say so.
He's been a bit of a breath of fresh air this week, AC, with his comments.
Gus, he is a breath of fresh
Just
air.
putting fires out. I like
Putting
it.
fires out everywhere. He's like, shut the fuck up, Vossi. He's telling everyone to relax on Terrell, rather. I like it, AC. Big fan of your work. I don't give a shit if Sua'ali'i's on the bench for the Wallabies. The guy's a thoroughbred. That's why he's getting $2 million a year.
Who would give a fuck about that?
He's gonna be the best inside of fucking 2 games. He'll be the best Wallabies player we've got. That's just a fact, and that's no offense to everyone else, but there's a golf in talent.
But you want to talk about bums on seats factor immediately? I will, depending on what time it is, get up and watch that game.
100%. That's what they're buying. That sort of interest.
They're buying my attention. What time's that game on?
And
2 a.m. on Sunday.
2 a.m. All right.
You've now got. You've
Okay.
You've got my attention.
You've definitely got my attention at 2 a.m. Do you have my actual attention at 2 a.m.? I don't know.
It depends what I'm doing.
It depends.
And depends where I am.
What am I doing this weekend? I don't think I'm doing anything that's going to require me being up at 2 a.m. That's the truth of the matter. You might be.
Maybe. pretty
Or
late.
yeah, you back home now these days.
Yeah, I'm back home.
Yeah, you're back home at these days.
Because that too becomes a 4.
Oh, it does.
Can't sell that at the
No,
market.
you can't. That thing don't sell no more.
Nah.
Wouldn't you want him playing as many games as possible? And like this is the earliest game he can play.
Well, I suppose the idea would be that this is Test match rugby. This is the creme de la creme, and it's against the old enemy, England, who have had our number historically, and maybe putting someone in who hasn't played the game since he left Kings a couple of years ago is not the greatest idea. Don't know.
But like, I mean, if you're Joe Schmidt, who is the coach, who often it sounds like you're saying Joe Schmo, but if you're Joe and you see him training the house down,
And
you're going, okay, this guy's come back in and he's already as good, if not better, than every single fucking player in our back line, no disrespect, then
he goes in.
probably just pick him, because it's like he's just come from the fucking Roosters where he's played finals footy, right? Like he's played State of Origin, might
He's
have killed
Origin
a man,
player.
but like
But he still did it.
he still did it.
He's going to have to come down a bit.
He's gonna have to lower his tackle
He's gonna have
height
to lower
because
his
you get
tackle.
fucking
You
you
get
get
fucking
red
red.
carded
Yeah,
for
yeah.
everything in rugby union.
You help a bloke fucking, with an
Back to his
eyelash
feet.
on it, with an eyelash on his fucking forehead, and you get
I'm saying
Red
if
card.
you help someone back to their feet after a ruck,
red card,
get off.
swearing red card.
Plus, Hunter Paisami's hasn't gone over there because he was injured. So having a guy who can play wing and both centres and fullback is probably going to help.
That's the insight
See?
you come here for, mate. Hunter Paisami not there, so we now have a man that can play wing.
Which is actually,
centre
you
and
stole the
fullback.
words right out of my mouth, Will.
Yeah, because I'd been wondering whether Hunter Paisami had where he was, so I hadn't actually followed up on it. Hunter Paisami not over there.
Went down with a calf injury.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Calf.
Was it like calf or was
Calf.
it quad?
No, it was calf.
Yeah, it was calf.
It was calf.
That's why Will's here.
Yep. The election finished yet? We got a result?
No.
Okay. Trump's into
Trump's
$1.40 since we started. $1.37 is $1.60 at the time
He's
of
up
recording.
28-3, which means nothing.
No.
Nathan McSweeney and Marcus Harris are going to open for the next Australia A
Which is when?
game, which is
It's at the MCG. So what, Bancroft dropped?
Bancroft to 3 and Constas to 4.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow at 10:30 a.m.
So they're
Yeah,
looking at-
McSweeney's got to go up there to fucking face that fresh
Well,
bill.
because it's like, it is interesting though, isn't it? It's like that we sort of talk about wanting specialist openers, but then McSweeney's just a 4. But now he's just opening.
Well, but that's because no one who's a specialist is fucking having a crack.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we've got specialist openers, but they all suck.
Do you
Like,
reckon
they're
you
all
could pick
awful.
what like McSweeney in a lineup? Do you know what he looks like yet?
No.
Can we get a picture of him? This is the time, punters and dribblers. If you, like us, don't know who the fuck this guy is, respectfully, who's quite possibly going to be our next Australian Test cricketer.
Funny how David Warner's just got his hand up going, oi, like none of these cunts are up to it. I can play.
I wonder how much that was a joke. Okay, I don't mind the look of McSweeney. He looks like a cricketer.
Yep.
25.
Yep.
25, good age.
McSween.
He looks like a good cricketer.
Is he bowl a bit, does he?
Well, has he got some all-rounder in him?
He looks like he's about to steam in
Can
there
you
in
get
that right
some-
photo.
can we
He's
get
an
some
all-rounder
fucking-
for South Australia and Brisbane Heat.
Okay. What's he bowl?
I'll get some stats.
Just by the way he's gripping the
Right
ball, it
arm
looks
off
like
break.
There you go.
Offie.
That's what he stole the words out of my mouth. You got any other photos of McSweeney or just a close-up YouTube?
Is that close? There
Just
you
want
go.
to see some other things here.
A few more.
What's he averaging in the Shield, the young 25-year-old?
Is he a South Australian or is he just playing for South Australia?
Also, I would like to check his Instagram.
Born in Queensland.
Queenslander.
Queenslander, okay.
Okay.
Let me just... Nathan.
Nathan, yep.
Love a Nath.
Love an eighth. I can go with a couple of eighths in a side for sure.
Nathan McSweeney, only 7,859 followers on Instagram. The 59th being Hello Sport.
That'll go up if he opens for the nation.
You'd fucking like to think so, wouldn't you?
Well, I know so.
Um,
I know it to be true.
I don't know whether... I'm just trying to work out based on his... He's got some leaguey in him as well. Just he's following Ethan Bullymore, Blake Shoop of potentially going to get traded out of Manly.
So his
Seagulls.
first
He
class-
follows Mondo Duplantis. This guy's a
Does
mad
he?
cunt. Yeah, this guy's our sort of guy, Ed. This guy's our sort of guy.
His first class average is 38.82, Tom. His list A average is 42.25. He's played 33 matches, 65 innings. He's had 8 not outs. His high score is 127. He's had 6 tons, 12 50s.
127 not.
Yep. Averaging 38.82. I think Ricky Ponting said something the other day about people that average in their 30s.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he said it or if that was like a fucking fake meme, but he said something about that like in his day. Can you find that quote?
But basically, it was along the lines of back in my day, if you average in the 30s, your old man to go get you like a footy ball or an AFL ball and tell you to change sports.
Yeah.
Don't know if that was real or not. But if it was, he's not shy.
Well, no, yeah, he's not
letting
backwards
his
and coming
feelings
forwards.
know.
I was running past some park cricketers on the weekend in their whites. I'm assuming, I don't know, like, if you're playing whites, is it like a 2-day match over 2 weekends?
Yep.
Or is it a 4-day match over 2 weekends, like Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday? I don't know.
I think it'd be Saturday.
I wouldn't mind playing one of those games where you don't, like just something a bit longer than a 2020, where you can try and get in. Now, I'd want to play in the shittest level possible. Like, I wouldn't want to be facing anyone good because I myself am not good. But I would enjoy just getting out there and feeling it.
Who does that level like that,
I
mate?
don't know.
Good state players these days are averaging 35. If you were averaging 35 when I was playing, your dad would go out and buy you a basketball or a footy and tell you to play that.
So
That
he
was an
said
interview
that-
in 2011.
And then Kevin Peterson recently shared a quote card saying that the other day on Twitter.
Yeah, that's how it's come back into the...
I also found I found an interesting Reddit thread about McSweeney. It's just some dribbler who's written up his stats from 10 days ago, I suppose when the chat started about him opening. So this is some stats for facing the new pill. His average at 3, this is just some guy's written this. His average at 3 doesn't scream ready to open, but I wanted to look more closely at when he was facing a newer ball. I've chosen the first 10 overs and first 30 runs for arbitrary reasons. His batting inning starts when less than 10 overs bowled, 36.6 with 2 centuries from 19 innings. His batting inning starts when score less than 30, 36.5 with 2 centuries from 20 innings, which is pretty niche and pretty dribbly, but I suppose it's a small window into...
very niche and very dribbly. And I'm not entirely sure what I gleaned from that.
What did you glean from it? Because you're reading it.
like a 36 average with a relatively new ball.
Yeah, which is essentially what he averages.
Yeah.
He averages 38, so it's there or thereabouts.
There or thereabouts.
So basically what they're saying is it doesn't matter if he's opening or not. He's about the same player.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I
yeah.
don't love bringing in a player into the Australian side who's averaging 36. Like if you're coming
38.
well, just in the 30s, cunt.
Well, what did Ricky say in 2011?
I know, but then I think there's Travis Head was averaging 30 something.
He said it in 2011. I think he's probably saying it different. He's probably moved that to 25 now, given how things have changed.
Well, is that like he's correcting for? It's not inflation; it's actually deflation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, gone are the days when Mike Hussey averaged 50 and couldn't get in the side. Those days are done.
I know, but I'd like you to be able to average 40.
It'd be nice.
Like, you know, what's Bancroft averaging in the Shield? 40s? He's average 40?
What is Bancroft? No, what's he average first class cricket? That's what you
Yeah.
look at. Fuck Shield. Like,
You know what I mean, though.
as in, like, not this season or last
Yes.
season.
No.
38.87,
What's Little Marcus average?
39.62.
Fucking hell.
Christ
Right.
alive. What's Constas average? Has he only played those? Has he only
He's
played
only
this year?
played this. Oh, he played last year?
39.41.
What's Travis Head
From
average?
7 matches.
What's Travis Head average in first class?
$39.95.
What about Tess?
41.75.
There you go. Thanks. I mean, it's fucking hell. Slim pickings out there, isn't it? And Travis Head's fucking the man.
I know. I know. That's why I'm saying Ricky probably has to rephrase
No,
that.
he does. He does. He needs a correction. A correction. Anyway, all right. Fuck. Fucking hell, mate. What's on the weekend? Bucks. Happy anniversary as well for yesterday.
Thanks, mate. 2 years.
2 years married.
Yep. Happily.
Good night. Yeah.
Hey?
You have a good night.
Yeah, mate. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Good food.
Yeah, not bad. It was okay. Nothing to write home about.
Oh, geez, no. That's not
It was okay. It was okay.
Oh, not very good.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Yeah. I don't know how rated it is. But it's not like, it's whatever.
Yeah, okay.
You know? But it was a nice night. It was a nice sunset.
Yeah.
And it was a nice vista.
For sure.
That's what matters.
Okay, well, that's good.
And me and Ella, my wife, had a great time.
Did you? Did you kiss?
No.
Not big kisses, eh?
We kiss sometimes. We kissed yesterday,
Oh,
but
that's
not at
nice.
lunch.
Just
not at
yesterday?
dinner. Not at dinner.
Okay, right.
You asked, do we kiss at dinner? The
Well, you
answer's
like we
no.
kissed yesterday. It sounds like you just do it like, what, once a month or some shit?
No, we kiss every day, but we didn't kiss at dinner. We're not big public. We're not like big PDA people.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
We're not smooching at dinner.
Yeah. Okay, I get you.
Like Johnny and Gatewood. Shout out to John.
Well, he'd be fucking. He'd have someone bent over a table. All right.
Oh, Johnny Bendover.
All right, punters and dribblers. Big Day Rosé on sale. The Magnums, 6 p.m. tonight. Hellosport.shop. And DMP t-shirts. I believe there are some still available.
Oh, there's a couple, yeah.
Bloke.shop.
Get into them.
Bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?